What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about how the heck you or anyone you know can buy a house in this real estate market without being too cliche. Like I've said in the past, it is absolutely bonkers right now all over the United States. From agents that I know in Montana to New York to North Carolina, where I am, to my friends where I grew up in California, people are paying crazy prices for houses right now. Today, I want to talk about how you can put yourself at the most competitive advantage to buy a house. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jimmy. I'm a real estate agent here in North Carolina. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you find anything that I say relevant or interesting or that's going to help you, please like, subscribe, and share. I tried to bring the most authentic information. I try to be as much of myself as I can. But let's get right into it. First thing you can do to buy a house in this market is to just try to find something off market. Do you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody? Maybe a loved one had passed away and they're in the early stages, maybe a year or two out, trying to get rid of that home and collect their things or their significant other or family members' things. That would probably be the easiest. You don't have to compete with any of the multiple offers within your specific area, and you could try to find something off market. That could be a for sale by owner, someone who doesn't want to use an agent and go through all of that and wants to do everything themselves. But finding an off market deal to avoid multiple offers is probably going to be the easiest to avoid multiple offers, but also probably the most difficult to find an off market property. Second thing is to pay cash. Now, there's nuances to each of these things. There's some pros and some cons. I'm a huge pros and cons person. Risk reward, balance that out. If you are buying a home and you're relocating to another state, you are even moving interstate, and you're trying to buy something that you're going to be in probably for at least 10 plus years. Everyone's going to have their own timeline on what that looks like. But if you pay a cash offer, what is one thing you don't have to have? An appraisal. You can have an appraisal if you want, but if you're buying a house for 400,000 and you're paying cash 400,000, you have no lender, you have no bank, you have no loan. Therefore, you don't need to get an appraisal for what the bank will allow you to borrow in terms of money. If you come in and you can pay it cash for a property, you can be significantly ahead of the game over people who are not paying cash. However, although it's a cash offer, you will be looked at, and some sellers have expressed this to me saying, well, if they're paying cash, they're not as committed, they can back out, because if they have the money might not mean as much to them, so they can just back out at any time. I've seen that happen, although it's rare. Number three, new construction. You can buy right now and the price is set. You're going to have to wait a significant amount of time until the property's been completed. You can get in new construction. Again, the key to buying a house in this market is to avoid multiple offers and not having to go 20, 30, 50,000 over ask price, although that is happening in a lot of areas. If you buy new construction, you don't have to have any multiple offers. However, I've talked to some of my builders and they are and this isn't all builders, this is just builders that I've spoken to, have not even allowed pre-sales of properties anymore. So ordinarily, if you find something in January, you go under contract, the price is set, you have your upgrades and things like that, and then 3 months later your house is built and you paid what you paid for it back in January. What is happening is builders are going under contract in January. The houses that they're selling for 330 with upgrades, the houses across the street, new construction or even resales, are going for 360, 370. These builders are leaving $30,000, $40,000 on the table, when in reality that's the money that could have been in the builder's pocket. So the builders got a little bit smarter. They're building the house, they're building it a specific way, and they're selling it how it is based on current market value. So they're able to recoup a little bit of those funds selling it as is, rather than building it to a buyer's expectation. Next is just write a letter. There's emotions intertwined with the sale of the property. If a seller has cash offers, but for some reason that letter from the buyer connects that to the seller and says, hey, wow, they're wanting to start a family, they're wanting to start their career, they're wanting to do X, Y, or Z, and the seller connects with that, writing a letter, handwritten, take a photo of it, send it to your agent. An email is fine too. I like the handwritten version of it, but everything is up to you. Next thing sounds again, sounds cliche, but paying over. There's almost no way to get a house in this market, again, unless those buyers and sellers connect to pay at ask price. Appraisals and comps in specific areas are almost out the door because they're paying significantly over what the price is. Moving into the next one, my next point, if your budget is 500,000, you need to be looking, in my opinion, for houses $100,000 less than what you want. It's just the reality of it. You're looking for a house for 400,000, you need to look at houses from like 300 to 350 because that house is going to be inevitably selling for up to 480. It's just people are paying out paying out the nose for these houses. You need to be prepared to pay way more than your budget is allowing. Do not be looking at houses for 295 if your budget is 300, especially if you don't have a higher deposit. Every state's different. In North Carolina, we have due diligence and earnest money. If you are not able to put a significant down payment or a deposit on that property, you need to be looking significantly lower than your actual qualified price to be able to contain that that amount that you're going to pay. Because if you're looking at a house 5,000 or 10,000 below your max budget, you're just not going to win the property, unfortunately. Last one is you can't ask for anything as a buyer. When I say that, I say the majority of the time, because every house is different, every transaction is different. You need to be willing to ask for nothing. That means if you can ask for no home warranty, if you can get a cheap fridge on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or a deal at Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, not asking for the refrigerator, the washer or dryer, any type of repairs. There are so many other buyers that are willing to get into these specific markets with not having to pay or ask for anything. So just be prepared that you are going to get nothing with the transaction. There's opportunity. If you just don't have a fridge and you have to have one, then that's your risk tolerance, and go ahead and ask for it. But in reality, for every one buyer that asks for those things, the washer and dryer, the warranty, closing costs, things like that, there is 15 or 20 other buyers not asking for anything. So just something to keep in mind when you're putting an offer on a house. All right, I hope that helps. Just kind of shedding a little light on what exactly you need to do to buy a house right now. If you know anyone who wants to buy a house, share this video, send it to them. The market is crazy. There are buyers everywhere, coming from everywhere to move everywhere, and it seems like people are submitting 20 offers before they actually get into that house. Feel free to share this, comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next video.